Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So I'm finally going to do Labyrinth of Legends, the easy path, and we'll see how many paths I actually do before this week is out. But as you can see, we have that boost from Summoner Appreciation Week, and you can see what that does. So this is a great time to dive into Labyrinth of Legends, and I'll show you guys the mastery setup that I will be using. This is the mastery setup that I have normally nowadays when I don't have my suicides. Alright, and you guys can see what I'm doing there, and the utility is pretty much standard. And I did not farm any health potions or revives or anything, but I'll show you guys what I'm working with here. You can see my boosts. I am more than maxed out on those 30% boosts, so I will be using those during this run. And you can see all that I got there. And you can see I'm maxed out on level 1, 2, and 3 health potions. I have a few level 4s. Got a few team potions, almost maxed out on the level 3 team potions. Maxed out on level 1, and I do have some in the stash. We'll look at that in a minute. And I have 9 level 2 maxed out on the team, almost maxed out on the level 3 revives. And let's look at my stash here, and you guys can see that I have a number of level 1s in there. I believe I have about 12. Did not count them, not counting them now, but just showing you guys what my resources look like. And you can see up top I have 19,000 units. Look at all those energy refills. I have 19,000 units. Don't know how much I'm going to use of those units, but that is what they're there for, to be spent. And let's take a look at this last thing here, and that is the free uncollected crystals. I have 349 of those, and as you can see, you can get level 3 health potions, level 2 and level 1 revives, level 2 health potions as well from there. So before I dive into my units, I will have opened up all of these and will have used up everything in my stash as well. Then I'll go into the units. Alright, so let's dive on into Labyrinth of Legends. And I'm not gonna lie, wasn't really looking forward to it. Not a fan of these longish fights, but the rewards, I want the rewards. So let's get started. Alright, so we're about to start Labyrinth of Legends here, and I have a treat for everybody. I brought my sister to comment on the video with me. She has not played this game, but she has seen me briefly play it. You guys can see the team that I'm gone in with. This seems to be a standard team for Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, and it worked out very well. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Stiletto Green, Lord Shadow's baby sister. My mom saved the best for last, and I'm here for the ride.
Anyway, so she saw me playing this, and at first she thought it was just a simple fighting game, but as I started talking more about it, she realized that there was a lot more depth to it. So when we were younger, she used to love watching me play games, and I never understood why somebody would just want to watch somebody else play a video game. But here we are. People love watching it. I watch other people play the games. But in any case, What you're seeing there, Miss Stiletto Green, is me applying some boosts. I don't have to apply these boosts, but they're going to make the fights much faster. So I have a 25% health boost. That green one is a 30% attack and health boost, and the orange was just an attack boost. So I'm pretty boosted up. Say again?
Do those go again to everybody, or just on certain characters?
No, they apply to anyone that I use from now on while they're on.
Okay.
And you saw that little message at the bottom, very annoying. Alright, so who I'm going in here with is Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. He is my top guy. He is a 5-star. Alright, and it goes up to 6 stars now. He is maxed out. That is something relatively new. Earlier on, you could get 5 stars, but you weren't able to max them out. The materials to max them out weren't even in the game. So he is the only one. We call him a rank 5 because 5 is the maximum that they can go to in ranking, and he is my only rank 5. And the fights that you're about to see here is the hardest content currently in the game, and it's called Labyrinth of Legends. And I decided to go ahead and go through it. This one is just one pass through, but getting all the way through 100%, there are, I believe, 6 paths if you do it right that you can take. So I've done one, and it took about 2.5 hours, which is, I think, pretty good from what I've heard from other people and how long their runs took. But what you're seeing here is the first opponent. It's Red Hulk. And my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, I call him Starky. He is tearing him up.
He's punching him in the balls.
Yeah, no. But he is doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage to him. If you could compare him to some other champions, there's only one other champion that can consistently do a lot of damage, more than him, without having to go through a lot of hoops, and that's Star-Lord. Star-Lord for the longest time was considered the only real option to get through Labyrinth of Legends if you did not want to use a lot of revives and health potions. You could do it with anybody that you really wanted to, but some of them you were going to end up having to spend a lot of resources to get through. But Star-Lord, he is still considered the top option, and Spider-Man Stark Enhanced here is the second, I guess you would say, the second best.
Who's the third best, or like the top 5? Would you say?
That's a good question. Let's see, Star-Lord, Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. There's another character, Blade. And you remember who Blade is. In this game, Blade is considered by many to be the best champion, only because he has a lot of utility. He can heal, and his healing is very easy to do. So in something like this, he can save you a lot of resources, but he's not going to do as much damage as either Star-Lord or Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. But he'll save you resources because you won't have to heal him as much, because he'll be able to heal during the fight pretty well. But he will, he'll take a little bit longer to take down some of the champions. And a lot of them, they have their pros and cons. You'll see we'll go through different opponents here. Don't think we'll go through all of them, but each of the opponents have their strengths and weaknesses as well. So, for example, Blade can do this fight, but he won't do it as fast as what you're seeing Spider-Man Stark Enhanced do. Since he's the only one that you've seen so far, you'll have to trust me on that. Star-Lord can also do this fight very, very quickly. But Blade, he doesn't do it, but he's a little bit safer.
Well, I'm a button pusher, mad button pusher, not really too much into strategy. So out of those 5, which one would you say would be best for me?
That's hard, because the 3 that I mentioned, they both will require a little bit of strategy to them. As you saw there, got down the first guy, and that's an accomplishment because I got him down without dying at all. And you can see how many hits it took. We might look at some others so you can compare some other kills on that guy there, Red Hulk. But in any case, Star-Lord, for example, in order for you to do the crazy damage that I'm talking about, you have to maintain a combo. What a combo is, you saw right there, I always forget. Old Man Logan, he does a heavy, but his heavy has 2 parts. And that's a little bit different than other people's heavies. See that he does that 1-2 punch? Most of the time, they just do 1 and you're able to run right back in and attack. But if you do that with Old Man Logan, you'll get hit like I just did. But anyway, you see that number in the upper left-hand corner there? It says 15 hits right now.
Yes.
That is your combo meter. Alright, so every time I hit him, that goes up. But if he hits me, that gets reset. Star-Lord gets his strength from that combo meter. The higher the combo meter, the more damage he does. So if you get hit, it resets and you lose all of that extra damage and you have to start all over. So it takes a little bit of skill, and you have to make sure that you can maintain that combo, and then you'll do more damage than what you see here. See, I got hit again with it. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, one of the advantages for him is that he still is going to do really good damage regardless of the combo meter. But he has to ramp up as well. Look at the upper left-hand corner. You see that little blue icon? There's a light blue one, and then there's a darker blue one to the left.
Yes.
You see the little number underneath it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are his poise charges. Every time you see me dodging back, and you see a little message that says dexterity or evade, he has a chance to build that up. And you see right now it's at 10. That's the max that you can get. And his damage goes up the more that goes up. So at 10, I'm doing the maximum amount of damage. And it doesn't go down just because I get hit, but it does go down over time. And Spider-Man Stark Enhanced has a taunt that every time he uses his taunt, it takes away one of those poise charges. But I can build up more just by evading, which is something that I would naturally do anyway. So it's easier to keep him, at his maximum damage, or at least close to it. But even if he didn't have any poise charges, he would still do quite a bit of damage, whereas Star-Lord really needs to ramp up and maintain a combo in order to do a lot of damage. And
so you say Spider-Man for me rather than Star-Lord?
Maybe. Because the one thing about Spider-Man Stark Enhanced that makes me say maybe is that he's a glass cannon champion. He doesn't have a lot of health, and if you mess up with him, you take a lot of damage very quickly. So there's a lot of people that don't like him because it does take a little practice. And when I first started playing with him, I would get wrecked real quick. I would die very often. He doesn't heal, so he's not the best option for a lot of things. But once you can get really good at playing him, as you can see, he does very, very well. So it might just be a matter of preference for you. He's a very good champion, so is Star-Lord, but it depends on your play style and what you like the most. You might like Blade better than these two. Blade, he can heal by just holding a button down. But you have to make sure, you know, that you're not getting hit, because the computer AI will try to take you out when it sees you healing. And you can only heal when you have enough power. And when we go back in, I'll show you the power meter. But Blade, he heals based on his power meter. The more he heals, basically his healing uses up power. So you see those bars at the bottom?
Yes.
The one on the left is my power meter. The one on the right is hers, you know, the opponent's. And when I get to 1 bar, I can fire off what's called my special 1. And 2 is my special 2. 3 is, of course, a special 3. What I normally do with him, and what you'll see me do the most in these fights, is my special 2, because it does the most damage. And that's what you see me doing a lot. Like right now I'm at 10. So what I'm going to want to do right now is get to that special 2. Okay, as soon as I can get an opening in right there, and I fire off, and that's the special 2. You see all that damage? 17,000. That is huge. That's a 17,000 critical on both of those. And then, if you see a lot of the red numbers, it put a shock on her that did damage over time as well. But anyway, Blade uses that power bar that you see down there. So while you're holding his block, it'll drain his power, but heal him. And of course the computer is not going to just let you sit there, so you have to be careful and heal, but then still make sure you're defending yourself and, you know, evading backwards and, you know, doing what you can to survive. So it's not that easy, but it's easier than most anyone else's active healing. And I say that because there's champions that have what's called passive healing, like Wolverine. You don't have to do anything other than just attack, and it randomly puts a regen on you every once in a while, and you'll just regen. So you don't have to actually do anything other than attack and get attacked. So out of those 3, it would probably be Blade, but there are a lot of other champions that you could use to do Labyrinth of Legends. It's just a matter of how much resources you're willing to put into it. One of the guys that I watch on YouTube, Frojo, he did Labyrinth of Legends with Rogue, and that's not a champion that many people would choose to do Labyrinth of Legends, but he did it. So it's possible to go through it with a variety of champions, as long as you're willing to use the resources necessary. Because, I mean, all you're doing is fighting these champions, and when you know, die, you just have to use a revive, heal up, and do it again. So as many revives and heals that you have, you can take them down. But a little personal challenge for me, I try to take down as many as I can in as little, you know, using fewer resources. I don't want to use a ton of resources, because anybody can do that. You know, if you have infinite resources, you can clear all the content, you know, no problem.
But then there's no challenge.
Exactly. But
no glory.
Yeah. So we're already, I think, about 3 fights in, and I have not died yet, which I think is pretty good. I've watched some others do Labyrinth of Legends, and I think I'm doing pretty well. Now, granted, when a lot of others did the Labyrinth of Legends, it was not possible to get a rank 5 champion. So they were doing it with rank 4 champions, which still work, but him being a rank 5, in fact, he wasn't even in the game back when some of them did this, but him being a rank 5 makes it much easier. But you still have to know how to fight with him. He is considered, right up there with Blade as one of the top champions, and a lot of people prefer doing Labyrinth of Legends with him rather than Blade. But if you had...
Are you sure about that you're not gonna die thing? Because you look like your health is going down.
Oh, yeah. There's no way I'm not that good to go through this whole thing without dying.
Oh, you might die.
Yeah, and it's not even designed for that, really. It's designed for you to use resources. There's certain game mechanics in here that are very annoying. That almost guarantee your death. There's something, it's called a Labyrinth evade. And the reason we call it that is because it's an evade that all the champions in Labyrinth of Legends here can do. So, Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, do you see those green evades to the left?
Yeah.
That's his auto evade. I'm not doing that. That's something he does. The dexterity that you see there, that's me doing it. I don't rely on his auto evade, but if I was not evading at all and I was just holding block, he would still evade some. So some champions can auto evade. Yep, and there goes Elektra.
Aw, you didn't die.
Not yet, but there's plenty of time for that. Trust me. But not all champions can auto evade, but in Labyrinth of Legends, all of them can auto evade. So it's a special evade that they have, and when they evade, most of the time they evade and attack, and you're just gonna die. They're just too powerful. Because if you'll notice with a lot of those fights, I'm playing in a certain way. I'm trying to stay away from them. But even though I'm not getting hit a lot, I'm still taking a lot of damage. So you could just imagine if I was getting hit a lot, die very quickly.
Oh, are you stocking up on potions again now?
Well, these are the potions that I've already had going into this. I didn't actually stock up on them other than what I normally get, just playing the game. You get these from playing different quests in the game, solo quests, alliance quests, and some crystals. This is the next fight here. It's Miss Marvel. And she can be tricky, but the other thing is that each of these fights take a long time, and you know how I hate long fights. I don't know if it's a little bit of ADD or what, but when the fights go on for too long, it's like I start losing focus, and I'm much more prone to make mistakes.
They're counting on it.
Oh yeah. And I wanted to get this done, so I didn't really take any breaks. I just fought all of this straight. But yeah, so you see here, I'm building up those poise charges again. I evaded her attack. I could also have blocked it, but then I would still take a little damage. So you want to try to evade as much as possible.
So other than that thing they do where they're trying to kill you, where they have that special evade, what other cheats do the computer have for you?
Well, on the easy path, and that's what I'm doing here, and they call it the easy path because there are a few other paths that are much more difficult. The champions have like double the health of these champions, and they have what's called I think an enigmatic, and that's a special mechanic that they have, something special that they do in the fight. I don't know all of them because I'm still new to Labyrinth of Legends. This is only the first time that I'm going through it. But Colossus, if I remember correctly, he has a special ability where if he evades and blocks your special, you're pretty much dead. And see, that evade you can't control. So say I'm fighting him with my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, and you see how I just did like the special 2? Say I went to do that special 2, and I hit the button, it started the special 2, he evades, and then blocks. There is nothing I can do at that point, because my special has already started, he's evaded it, my special is going to finish, and his particular ability will kick in, and that's that. And there's other little things like that scattered throughout, but I don't know them all. I'm going to learn them as I go through this, trying to 100% complete it, because you get good prizes for doing this first path, and then the next I think 4, you don't get anything more than I think like this one little 5-star signature stone or something. Trust me, it's not worth all the pain you go through. And then on the last one, you get a ton of prizes.
Ooh.
And that's what I'm working towards. This is only path 1. The other thing is we're doing, there's a Summoner Appreciation Week. Kabam gives us special buffs, I guess. Gold, 20% more gold. So anytime we earn gold, we're getting 20% more than we normally would. We have a 10% attack and health boost, and that's on top of the boost that you saw me use, which is why I decided to do this now, because that gave me just a little extra edge to make it just that much easier. Trying to think what else. Well, battle chips, we also get 20% more battle chips as well. But during this week, I'm going to try to get as much done as possible. If I can get all the paths done during this week, that's fine. But it's going to take me using up some resources. Fortunately, I had been preparing and farming battle chips, and I just recently opened up a ton of them, and I got a ton of units. That's the in-game currency, and I'll be using that to purchase revives and health potions as I go through this. So,
What was that?
hold on for a minute. I'm trying to figure out. I haven't died yet, have I?
Nope.
Okay, good.
I've been watching.
Because that, I think it must be in the video. But we'll edit all that out anyway. Alright, so this fight, this guy is Unstoppable Colossus, and he is a pain. You saw what happened right there, that I got hit?
Yeah.
This game, look at that. This game has bugs. And what you just saw right there, I wasn't able to move. So I tried to evade that heavy, and this is something that has happened, and I've complained about it. It's happened less since I got the new iPad, but it still happens.
Maybe you were scared stiff.
Yeah, no. That would be something if they added something like that into the game. Like an intimidation. But sometimes I just can't evade. It like drops my input. But you see, I got beat up pretty good early on, and you see he didn't hit me that many times. That's because Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, even with all those boosts on, he's still a glass cannon champion. But at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die, but I'm trying to give it my best and just do as best I can.
Get him!
That unstoppable that you see there is what makes him so difficult. And when I'm in the corner like that, now see how I'm able to evade all of those heavies? Once I get hit with that heavy and it, doesn't let me evade, after that, I'm usually fine and it'll let me evade just fine.
Aw, you died.
Yep. And what happened there, if you saw, I ran out of health. Because when you block, you still take damage. And I didn't have enough health to survive that block. So yeah, that's the first death that I experienced, which I think is pretty good.
Every time you die, it's payback for all the times you've beaten me in video games.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying. As an aside.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
Do I detect a little bit of saltiness?
Well, there's so many flavors to be. I chose salty. Why not?
Uh-huh. Anyway. So, that's pretty much how the Labyrinth of Legends goes. This entire run took me about 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is pretty quick, and it's thanks to Spider-Man Stark Enhanced here, because he just does so much damage. I believe Star-Lord can still do it faster if you can maintain the combo. Now, what you saw there, and I hate when that happens, he blocked my special. And it's very annoying because sometimes the computer reacts much faster than it normally does. Because I try to hit them, and then I hit my special, and sometimes they still block. Very annoying.
Cheater!
Yeah, pretty much. But that's...
If you're not used to a computer cheating by now, then you're not playing video games.
You got that right. So, what do you think so far?
I think it's interesting. I like it.
And this is... My sister has seen me playing this game now for, a couple of years?
Yeah. Years.
And I'm almost always, we'll be watching something and I'll still be playing, either I'm auto fighting something or I'm in the arena or something. But
hey Kendall, did you see that on the screen? Oh no, just a second. I've got to finish this fight.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't even deny it. But anyway, that's it really. Hope you guys enjoyed my sister's commentary a little bit here. We're going to let you guys watch the rest of this. And say again?
In peace. We'll let them watch it in peace.
Yeah. we definitely weren't about to comment and narrate all 2 hours and 40 minutes. You guys can also check in the description. I've gone through and indexed all of the fights, and I'll also put that in a comment and pin it so you guys will have that as well. That way you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can skip around and go to just the fights that you want to see. If you need help on a particular fight, feel free to comment below and ask me questions. And I will stream all of this stuff that you see here is sort of practice for when I do start streaming, and I'll probably ask my sister to come in while I'm streaming as well to help me out, so that I'll be fighting and She'll help me read the comments and help answer them as well. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Anything more you want to say?
I hope you dial it more times.
See, this is why we can't be how we need to be.
What are baby sisters for?
That's why bad things happen to you. Anyway, take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. I will pick up my commentary on the Maestro fight. All right, so enjoy the rest of the video.
Bye-bye, guys.
o'clock p.m.
Alright, so we're finally to the end, and we're about to face Maestro. So I decided to use up my health potions. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have gone in with the attitude of testing the waters, and you'll see why I say that when we go in. But I remember before I knew much about Labyrinth of Legends, I used to hear people talking about the Maestro fight and how difficult he was. And I was thinking, well, he's not that bad. But I was thinking of Maestro at the end of Act 4. Well, the animations are the same, and I found him fun to fight. So I went into this thinking it shouldn't be too terribly bad because I already know his animations. So the first thing that you guys will notice right here, he got the regeneration buff right off the bat. Now, this is actually a good thing. When I saw this, I said, now is my time to get in some practice. So I already know that I'm not going to be able to take him down with that regen buff on him. But it gives me a chance to practice, play around, and get warmed up. You know, I've been fighting for a couple of hours now, and I wanted to make sure that I could evade that special one like you saw there, because I knew he was going to be throwing that a lot. So if you're wondering why I'm fighting with that regen buff up, that's why. Just practice. Later on, when I have him hurt and that regen buff pops up, I immediately stop and force quit the game. I do not count that as a death, and you'll see why. I didn't end up having to use a revive when I did that. But, little spoiler there, I guess. But that's the Maestro fight. I actually had fun fighting him. I love evading that special one. I don't know why. It's just fun. I learned to evade it in Act 4, and other than that regen buff and the random buffs that he gets, he was not that bad. I actually had fun fighting. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the Maestro fight. I don't remember how many deaths it took me to get him down, but the important thing is we got him down. And that, dear friends, is my first path of Labyrinth of Legends. And I am tired. But I'm also very happy to see those rewards. And those 5-star shards and the Awakening Gem, you can expect to see those used in my next video. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please consider smashing that like button. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please consider giving me a subscription. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you would like to support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Patreon account, and you can become a patron of this channel. And I am about to go to bed. And you all have a blessed day.